biggest talking point amidst this is how it will shape up the global economy. Could higher tariffs on steel and aluminium hurt the global growth? Ashesha explains the dynamics. Take it away, Ashesha.
Well, yes, several announcements have been made by US President Donald Trump when it comes to its implications on the metal sector. One, of course, additional 10% tariffs that have been announced in China. Apart from that, they've also initiated investigation on copper imports into US. Of course, nothing has been finalized with respect to additional duty that can be levied on copper. But as far as steel and aluminium is concerned, additional 25% tariffs have already been levied, and this was announced a couple of days ago. Remember, as far as copper is concerned, several Indian players are into this business. So, for example, 21% of revenue for consolidated revenue for Hindalco comes in from copper. Hindustan Copper and Vedanta are also impacted because of any changes that happened with respect to copper prices in the global market. But let's also understand tariffs were also imposed during his earlier regime. So what's different? This time, no exemptions or no exceptions have been granted. In fact, when we were talking to a couple of companies, managements were highlighting that they are hopeful of that company being exempted from these tariffs that are being levied. But Donald Trump has been very clear this time around: no exception or no exemption for any company whatsoever. So several Indian players might not be directly impacted, but indirect implications could be seen on several companies with respect to its implication on prices. So for example, all those countries which will not be able to export to the US will now be flooding other emerging markets into India, which means supply is expected to grow up, and as compared to demand, if supply rises, prices also could trend lower, and hence we could see indirect implication on metal prices in the global market, and that's how Indian companies could be negatively impacted. But guess what? Lower metal prices, of course, is a positive for the consumers of these metals, and the most important beneficiary will be the auto sector, because nearly 20 to 25% of raw material basket constitutes metal for auto.
Well, thank you so much, Ashesha, as well as Sumita, for getting us all those details and putting in context that what